Hello and welcome. In this video, I'll be showing you how to grow and plant a Fittonia. I chose a Fittonia because it's a house plant. It's okay to keep indoors, and also because of its beautiful leaves. Fittonia plants have either a silver, light green, or in this case, a pink lining. It's very beautiful. For this plant, I have an 8-inch pot with holes in the bottom for proper drainage and of course a plate to catch the water. For this plant, I have an 8-inch pot with holes in the bottom for proper drainage and of course a plate to catch the water. First, I'm going to fill up this pot about 50% of the way with potting mix so there's enough room to transplant this Fittonia into the pot. I'm using potting mix because it's a lot lighter than garden soil, and this plant is very important with not drowning its roots. So that's why we're using potting mix. And also I'm going to use organic potting mix because it provides a lot more nutrients. Alright, so my pot is filled about halfway with potting mix. Now I'm going to take this Fittonia out of its cup. It's very important not to pull on the leaves or the stems and just try to get a hold of the base of its root to keep it all intact. Alrighty, very carefully. And then before you place it into your pot, you're going to want to massage those roots to kind of open them up since they've been in that cup and have taken shape of the cup. Alrighty, so now you're going to want to create a little bit of a well in your pot to create room for the plant. Alrighty, so now that it's in there, you're going to want to surround it with potting mix so it stays in there. So now I'm going to fill the rest of the pot with potting mix. I'm lifting my plant up just a little bit because I do see some leaves buried, which is what we do not want. Alrighty, that's looking pretty good now. Now that I have successfully transplanted this Fittonia into its pot, I'm going to add some water. Now I'm going to add a pretty generous amount of water because this plant is naturally grown in the rainforest and is used to a really moist environment. Now at the same time, you don't want to overwater your plant and drown its roots. So you're going to add water slowly and kind of wait till you see some moisture at the bottom of your pot. Kind of give the water some time to settle towards the bottom. Add a little bit more to this side. Alrighty, I'm going to check my bottom. Oh, yep, and we have some water dripping, which is perfect, exactly what you want. Now remember to empty out this draining plate when it's full of water because you don't want the roots to drown. Now for regular watering, you kind of just want to keep an eye on the soil. When the top of the soil is dry, that's how you know when to add water. This plant requires a lot of moisture, so whenever it's dry, you'll notice the leaves start to droop more, and so that will tell you you need to water it immediately. Try to avoid that as much as possible. Be on top of the watering, and you should be good to go. Now as far as lighting, this plant is considered an indoor plant. It does not need direct sunlight, so I recommend putting it by a window where it gets some light, but not too much because you don't want the leaves to burn. Now this concludes the instructions for growing a Fittonia plant. You and your clients can give yourself more of a challenge by growing it from seeds and sowing it into your soil. However, for the purpose of this video, I went to my local gardening center and purchased a pre-grown plant ready to be transplanted to a pot. Thank you for watching this video. If you forgot to take notes, that is perfectly fine. In the description, I have included a link to a document with detailed instructions and further helpful tips. Thank you for watching this video.